moving on with Eureka's Mabuse Lives set, we're on to 308 in the Masters of Cinema series, which is Dr. Mabuse versus Scotland Yard. And I feel that we've made a clear jump in this one after the rather shocking end to the Testament of Dr. Mabuse. Now, hopefully you watched that movie. Slight spoilers here. Mabuse is gone, and yet his spirit lives on, taking over the body of the professor who was in the previous movie, who now becomes the embodiment of this mythical character. And it feels like it's definitely taking some familiar choices. It's not got as much surprises. It's eking more into sci-fi, and a little bit of silliness is eking into this, although it still has the crime aspect. This one definitely moves into a more sort of fantastical element. Peter Van Eyck as Major Bill Turn, a man who has been brought into this case as famous people start to commit unbelievable murders. There is something out there that is causing just average people to suddenly turn and become murderous rages, targeting separate people. And this one, we have our Mabuse-esque character travelling to England, where he's going to take over the world, starting from Great Britain.
Sie stellt folgendes Ultimatum. Sofortige Abdankung der alten Regierung, bedingungsloser Gehorsam zur neuen.
The whole conceit of this one is a really odd and silly affair. It is basically a camera that can suddenly just trigger someone, and one way to make them want to kill a specific person. Now, it's never explained how exactly this works, and to be honest, I don't think there would have been a satisfying explanation for that at all. We just see a strange light jump on. Sometimes we see some interesting photography to give us the visual cue that this person has been programmed, and then they commit a strange murder, knowing nothing about it after the fact, or knowing very little, or pragmatically just talking about it. Yes, I killed that person, don't know why I did it.
Als unterschrieb, da war noch am Leben. Und dann? Was dann? Dann habe ich ihn getötet. Wie bitte?
And it's this kind of idea as Mabuse starts to target high-profile people and start to pick them off one by one, threatening the country, telling them pretty much that he will turn over all control to Dr. Mabuse, or he will continue to kill off the politicians, the monarchy, anybody in power whatsoever, until he gets what he wants.
Ich halte den Abzug einer Handgranate. Tun Sie nicht das, was ich sage, fliegen wir alle drei in die Luft.
Ich glaube ihm.
Now, the kind of problem here is it doesn't really feel like a Mabuse story. It feels like something that's been repurposed, and when you get to the extras, you kind of figure out it has been into the Mabuse kind of pantheon of films. Now, you definitely started to get that in the last movie. Here, it goes full into that way, where it feels like it's taking basically any kind of story and just putting Mabuse on it and creating another tale. And it's starting to lose that somewhat great noir mystery, lead detective battling against a super villain idea that was really strong and really engaging and really fun within the first couple of movies. In fact, so much so that this one feels almost perfunctory. It ticks along, it does what it has to do, it stays under that 90-minute runtime, and although it's fun, it's not as engaging, it's not as impactful, it doesn't have as many smart and intriguing mystery moments throughout it.
Dann sage deinem Geheimagenten das nächste Mal, soll kein französisches Parfüm benutzen, keine Schuhe mit Pfennigabsätzen tragen.
You do get Peter Van Eyck back again, who was in A Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse, playing a different character. But again, it feels almost wasted here. It doesn't have much to do. He's kind of like a loving Lothario, living with his mother, which is probably my favourite part of the whole story, is how his mother is so great at just pinpointing everything. She knows immediately what's going on, and and it's so good to get a character like that who gets some of the clues and just goes, well, I think it's Mabuse, he's back and he's doing this because of this, and this is how he's doing it. And it's to see the men in the film just go, look, I mean, that's a bit of a wild jump. We'll maybe think about that. But ultimately, she's getting it right every single time.
Soviel ich weiß, suchen die Herren den Ursprung eines mysteriösen Zwanges. Die Antwort ist einfach, eine Hypnotisiermaschine.
I find the idea of Mabuse being more prevalent in this film, again, a little bit off-putting, because in the other movies, he was always the mastermind, the man behind the scenes, pulling all the strings. Here, he's kind of front and foremost giving us a villain character for our hero to rally against. It's fine. It's a decent enough movie. I did enjoy watching it, and it does have some interesting aspects, but it's lost the kind of edge and the kind of fun moments that it had in the earlier vein of these films. And the fact that it's kind of jumped away from Joe Como or Inspector Loman, his characters that I'm missing in this one. It feels like an almost hard reset here, and I don't know entirely how I feel about that. I feel it's a little bit of a mistake. But there's one more to go, and I will definitely persevere because I am enjoying these films. As much as this wasn't my favourite of the bunch, I will move on and check out the next one. Let me know your thoughts on this one. I want to know, if you're watching along with this set, how did you feel when you got to Dr. Mabuse versus Scotland Yard? Let me know in the comment box below what you think about it. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com, always, in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.